Okay, hopefully live. I'm just doing a little check. Yeah, okay, good. All right, 5 o'clock on Sunday, and the semifinals are done. I mean, there's nothing that can happen to change who's going to be in the championship. So, second year, 2 in a row. I'm in the final, and Eric, if you're watching, or if you get on, come on later. This is what you wanted, right? The trade deadline all-star meeting. Said I want to play you, and I said the only way it looks like it's going to line up is if we play each other in the championship. So, Eric, you got what you wanted, right? You wanted to play me again, and it worked out that we're in the championship. So, salute to the semifinals, and Adam and Dale, 2 good seasons. Adam, I know you're fine. You won the season. You got $1,000. You're just fine. You cleared it. What, $2,000 in these last 2 seasons? Hey, Dale. Yeah, live long and prosper, bro. But Adam, you're good. $2,000 in 2 seasons. Won last year's first place in last year's season. Won first place this season. You're doing just fine. But second year, so I'm hoping to get it done, but we'll see. Me and Eric played once this past season. I'll get down to that later. First, let's recap the semifinals. So we had Eric against Dale, and it was close. It was close up until about Thursday. And in the way that Dale beat Moy last week, he secured some categories that just could never catch up. And it's this kind of flip circumstance. Dale was close in about I'd say a third of the categories, and then the other 2/3, Eric held a good cushion in those categories. So Dale was up against it as of, I would say, Thursday. So that was a good matchup, though. And 2 against 3, that's and I would say those probably the 2. Again, I said that the top 4 teams, no one could argue that they shouldn't have been in there. Eric, Adam, and myself all shared first place at some point in the season, and Dale's been in the top for the majority of the season. So top 5. So you couldn't argue who was in there. So good matchup with Eric and Dale. I'm going to keep the group me open. Eric said the matchup will be the good guy versus the bad guy. Okay. So I'll keep my phone if you guys want to text me, or on the group me post, or in the comments. And then with me and Adam. So me and Adam had a rematch from last year. And I played Adam, in the semifinals last year. And I think I was the 5th seed team or the 6th seed team. And we had a rematch. And again, with the pitching, when I play Eric next week, when I played Adam this week, and when I played Carlos last week, I'm always going to be – the pitching is always going to be favored for the other side. I'm never going to be favored in the pitching. But they did well enough for me to secure 3-4 categories. And again, my offense, I had one bad day that allowed Adam to get back into it. But after that, my offense is killing it. And I would say Eugenio Suarez he was slow, but man, that guy, I think he hit his 47th home run today. So my offense took care of business again for me. So next week, it's going to be the same thing, with Eric having DeGrom and Strasburg and Domingo Germán. The pitching is going to be favored for Eric, but we'll see. I took a big injury this week, continuing with the semifinal against Adam. Today, Rizzo went down, twisted his ankle. X-rays came back clean, but I'm not going to have him for next week. I mean, if I do, it'd be like the weekend. By then, it's not a substantial contribution. Eric said, I lost Trout all week. He lost Trout all this week, but he said he's going to DH. He doesn't want to be – they were like, I guess, talking about – shit, it's rocking. They were talking about shutting him down. He's like, no, at least let me DH. So, and he's going to get what he wants. You know, he's Trout, and the Angels will do whatever he says. So he's going to get at bats, which all that counts in fantasy. So Eric, he's going to DH. Oh, no, he's done surgery. Oh, shit. I did not know that. Okay, so you're down Trout and I'm down Rizzo. But we'll talk about that more. But yeah, semifinals were good. I think if Adam took some key injuries, man. He lost Yelich, he lost Josh Bell, and then he had no depth because his bench was all hurt. He had to start Austin Barnes a few times and Chad Pinder. He was up against it. So for Adam to have had, I would say, a chance against me, his pitching would have had to dominate. And his pitching did well. Like, they started off a little rough, but they came back and they made the margins really close. But Bumgarner came through for me this week. Got me 2 quality starts. And in those 2 quality starts, I think he allowed maybe 1 or 2 runs total. I think 2 runs total his 2 starts. So, again, my pitching for the last 2 rounds has done enough for me. And I think with Eric, his studs really showed out. Arenado's been on a tear. Chris Davis had a monster week, and with Oakland being right in it, he's just going to continue to do well. So, and then Alonso, I mean, that guy's money. That's tough if you're Dale, because Dale had a couple key injuries, and you had rotational depth too that affected you, and I was affected too. I have no depth. I have depth like at first base, but with Rizzo out now, I'm not going to have. I need to use one of my guys has a first base, shortstop, second base tag. Now I have to play him. So if one guy gets scratched, I might have an empty spot in a lineup for a number of days, depending on. Again, I need all my guys to start and play. And considering 2 of my guys are in the Texas Rangers, who knows if they're going to play. But yeah, so it was good semifinals. I want to cheers to Dale and Adam for another great season. Dale, you're always in it. Adam, you're always in it. It clearly shows that if this game isn't about luck, right? There's always consistency on those who tend to be in it. So it's definitely a skill set that Dale and Adam have. So cheers, guys. I haven't had this one. It's pretty good. It's called Racer. It's pretty good. So quick little shout to the consolation bracket. $100 to be won. Justin and Joe are going to be battling it out, I believe. I know Joe spanked AJ. Spanked him hard. But I think Justin came through with the win. Let's see. Consolation bracket. You guys know before I do, just post it so I don't waste time. All matchups. Yep. So Joe and Justin for the $100 consolation prize. And then for the third place, I think third place wins $175. You got Dale against Adam for third place. So that's money to be made. I know, Adam, you got $1,000, but Dale, I know that's a little bit of cash you would like to get back. And finishing as a top 3 team in a long fantasy baseball season is something to, pat your back with. So, or you have the mindset you're either first or last, right? Okay. So, it's kind of too bad that the 5th place, Moy sealed 5th place. So Moy will finish with a top 5 team. So, props to you, Moy. And, considering what you were up against, going into draft day. Um, and then it looks like we will have the Sacco worst team playoff, and that'll be David and Chewy. Well, I guess they don't do that. Well, that sucks. They have a 7th place and 9th place, 3rd place, and the 1st place in the next round. Okay, so this is it, right? Final week. I'm pumped. I don't make it to the playoffs a lot, and to go back-to-back seasons, kind of feeling like the Dodgers right now. Hopefully, I can fucking win. I think it's Eric definitely. He executed right. He, I've said it a couple times in videos. He had the biggest opportunity to bust with the advantages he had and the draft picks he got, and he made it to the championship. So he did well. He did well on his draft and the extra picks he got, and he's riding the championship. So I want to say that it's an even matchup, but I would say if there was Vegas odds, I'd be the underdog, right? Just looking at his lineup with Arenado, like if you go position by position, it's a tough matchup, but that's okay. I was the 6th seed going against the 4th seed against Carlos. I was the underdog, and then I was the 5th seed going against the 5th against the 4th against Carlos, and then the 5th against the 1st seed against Adam. So I don't mind being the underdog. And me and Eric did face each other once in the season, and I came out on top on that one. So my path to victory is either a win or a tie, because there's only one. Again, Yahoo determines a tiebreaker based on season matchups, point differential. And since we only played each other once and I won, I would hold the tiebreaker advantage. So I can either tie or win. And ties do happen a lot in this league. But I'm excited, man. 2 years in a row, I made the final. This is a rematch of, Eric said, wait, what did you say? A rematch from how many years ago when we had one of the big, I guess, karma. People will say the biggest fantasy baseball gods karma matchup, or me and you cut a deal to split the buyout no matter who won, and then I lost by a walk. It's a rematch of that. That's the last time we faced each other. I think the only time we faced each other in the championship. So, Eric, if this is your last season, I'm glad I get to play you on your last season, man. That you made it to the championship on your last season. So that'd be a hell of a way to go out by winning. You said rematch from a couple years ago. I want to say it's more than that, because I was still working at my after school program, and I was early on. I want to say that 2000, maybe 2014, 15. So like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. 5 years, yeah. That's what Eric said. I think 5 years. Yeah, I think it was 2014. I have to look at the archive. I should have done that before while I was prepping for this, but I've been watching football all day. And damn, that Antonio Brown Brady matchup looks really good. Yeah, but so rematch from 5 years ago. Let's kind of look at it. Like I said, like position by position, what could be kind of a squash and what could be a clear one-sided advantage. I want to say Eric Arenado's better than Suarez, but the way Eugenio Suarez has been playing the last couple of weeks and the way Arenado's been playing, you don't get points for defense. So let's start with third base. Let's start with the hot corner. I'm gonna try to do it fast. I don't want to be dragging on by just going by stats, but if we base it on the last month, Mondesi is my guy at third. So where do you put Arenado? So Eugenio Suarez in the last month has hit 14 home runs. He's batting 305. Then you have Mustak. Okay. I say my difference maker. Oh, I'm saying, oh, okay. Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like, that's where it's going to come down to. Like, who's that wild card player that, like, a upper tier kind of flex guy, right? So Mondesi's that upper tier kind of flex guy who can get you stats across the board, right? He gets runs, hits, stolen bases. But Arenado last month, 367 average and 16 home runs. So damn, like, it's hard to say, right? But I'll that's not a bad margin in terms of advantage. Judge has come back from injury on a tear. Okay, so let's go first base, Goldschmidt. If I had Rizzo, I would say that was a wash. Now with Santana being really slump heavy, that's going to be hard. So I would say you got the advantage at first base. I wish I had Rizzo because I think Rizzo, Goldschmidt, the way Goldschmidt's playing, Rizzo, it's about even. The Goldsmith season, he's batting 261 on the season. He's been pretty solid the last month, but Rizzo has too. So me losing Rizzo is going to hurt in terms of offensive production. So you got the advantage at first base. Second base, you got that Mondesi guy, and then that's kind of it, right? That's going to be your second baseman. Moustakas too. He just came back. I'm not too worried about Moustakas, but that could bite me in the ass because he can. The Brewers just took they're like a game back on the Cubs in the Central, so he could set up. He can get fired, check his numbers. I'm looking at it right now. Moustakas, he's batting 266. The last week, he's been doing good. Last 2 weeks. But again, like I have Ketel Marte at second base. So if you put him at second base, I would take Ketel Marte. He's having an MVP type year. And he gets me stolen bases that Moustakas doesn't get. And you look at Ketel Marte stats. This year he's batting 326 with a 977 OPS and 30 plus home runs. And Ketel Marte is someone I drafted. Not for nothing, but I projected a good year from him. Shortstop, Mondesi's really good. I like Mondesi. So I would say between Mondesi and then the guys I rotate at shortstop, it could be even in terms of production, but Mondesi's really good. So the margin isn't too big on that because I rotate guys at shortstop and production is pretty solid for me. Elvis Andrews is getting better. He slumped pretty hard. Outfield, I like my outfield. I like your outfield. Castellanos has been on fire for me. Charlie Blackmon's been on fire. With you not having Trout, let me look at this because I know to have season-ending foot surgery. Okay, so Judge came back really strong for you, and Chris Davis is tearing it up, and Malik Smith gets a lot of stolen bases. So you could have the advantage of stolen bases, but in terms of average and hits, home runs, Charlie Blackmon and Castellanos have been tearing it up. So I would say with you losing Trout, it's a wash in terms of outfield because it's a pretty even matchup in that. Like if I had Rizzo, man, it would be so different. Pete Alonso was a stud. I would give you. That's what I'm saying. Like you have the advantage in depth. Like I don't have the depth or the rotational depth that you have. You could put Alonso in at utility or first base when guys are scratched, and right now I don't have that. So if they go cold for you, that helps me. But if they contribute, that's going to hurt me substantially because, again, I don't have the rotational depth on it with my injuries. I'm not going to say that one. I'll let you post it in the comments. I'm not going to say that. If I get Corey Dickerson back, he's been a stud in the outfield, but he's dealing with a bruised foot. He's not clear, and it says they're not sure when he can return to the lineup. If I do get him back, it may be Wednesday, so that helps my depth. He's actually my starting outfielder with Corey Dickerson, Blackman, and Castellanos. But again, the rotational depth is going to hurt me with the injuries I have. Now pitching. Again, my goal with pitching is that my guys contribute enough to keep the categories close. Now that pitching matchup with you and Dale was nuts. I mean, Dale was holding on to a 0.4 ERA for how long, and you still had the majority of the stats. I mean, that's nuts. So, catchers. I skipped catchers. I got the advantage on the catchers, man. I have two really good catchers. And guys, I would put at if they both start, I'm starting them both. Like Wilson Ramos is having a really good last few weeks. Wilson Ramos is batting on the season 293. And then Mitch Garver is really good. They're both on teams of contention. Mitch Garver, he's batting 275 on the season, but he has 30 bombs as a catcher. So I would give myself the advantage on the catchers because they're two starters. And in terms of the depth that I can rotate with Wilson Ramos and Mitch Garver, I'd say advantage me catchers. But yeah, that Rizzo injury today that's gonna suck. But yeah, pitching, I know you have the advantage in the pitching, and I trade you one of those pitchers. If I had to say the one trade I would take back is that DeGrom trade. Because if I had DeGrom right now, the guys I got from you, I don't even have anymore. So they wouldn't even have hurt to the contribution of in terms of the stats that got me to the championship. I could have DeGrom and not have lost any of those stats because those guys that I got from you, I got rid of. So I could have held on to DeGrom and had a stud ace going into, but now he's going to be yours. He's yours, and that's old news. So I don't regret the Garrett Cole trade. Bottom line is the moves I made, good or bad, I'm in the championship. So that's I guess perspective. But I'll admit I would prefer to have DeGrom right now. But he's yours, and let's see what he does. At the same time, who did you get from my guys? I got Jack Flaherty, who did well for David at the end, and Nelly Cruz, who did well for Alejandro. They stung for me, and when I trade them, I got Castellanos though for Nelly Cruz, and Castellanos has been amazing. But as soon as I trade them, they started kicking ass. Nelly Cruz was doing bad, and I'm like, I need to get contribution because I just dropped out of first place in the season, and I was worried about my depth. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll trade Nelly Cruz. And I got Bumgarner. Yeah. Well, Bumgarner, he did really good for me this week, but he has a 500 record, and a high 3 ERA. I think he just lowered it below 4 this week with his 2 starts. So, Sunday Night Football. Julio Jones, Alabama. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Bumgarner is a great guy to have during the season, and I hope he does well for me. Do I know if I'm going to go with him next week? It depends on the matchup. If he has a favorable matchup and he's at home, hell yeah, I'm going with him, and I'll be. But again, the DeGrom trade is the one that, doing everything all over again, I wouldn't have traded him. So, but we'll see what happens, right? And again, Eric, this is what you wanted. You told me at the All-Star game, I want to play you. And I said, again, the only way it would line up is if we played each other in the championship. And here we are. So I'm pumped up for a great season, man. And Eric, let me cheers to you, man. Cheers to you, man, for making the championship, dude. Hell yeah, bro. And best of luck to you, dude. Win or lose, someone's guaranteed someone's gonna get $1,000 and someone's gonna get $375. So we're both gonna get paid, and so I'm just excited to be in the championship again. For the people that I heard USC, no, we're not splitting the money down. I'm not doing that. No, that shit fucked with me the next year. I mean, what, we were the bottom two teams after we made that deal the next year. Um, but no, I'm not doing that. I want to, if I win. No, Eric said, "Fuck it, let's split it again." No, like I've never won. Like I'm to be in the championship again for a guy who's never won. Like you don't know. Like I really want to win this fucking year. How many times have you played Eric in the championship? This is the second time. This is the first time is when we cut the deal, and the second time is this time. So now individual, have you played Eric? Yeah. So he said, have you played? No, this is the second time I played Eric. I don't think we've ever played. I think we played each other in the playoffs one time, and Eric beat me, and that was the year that it was like the first round of the playoffs, and that was the year that Eric won his championship. From what I remember, it was like one of the first like 5 or 6 seasons of our league. He beat me in like the quarterfinals. No, because we didn't have playoffs then. I think he beat me the last matchup of the season, and then like he won the season by beating me and solidified it for him. So, but when we switch over to playoffs, we've only played each other twice, and I'm kind of glad I made the playoffs because I have some followers on this channel that follow just the stuff that I post, and me posting all these videos about my rankings and telling people my advice and my picks. I'm glad I made the championship, or I'd look like I was like full of shit, like I didn't know what I was talking about. But yeah, so starts tomorrow. It was a long season. It's going to be 2 against 5, right? Now I consider 1 against 2. I mean, I would say Eric was probably ranked 1 because he came in with the higher ranking and seed. But right now, these are the 2 best teams in the league, the 2 that are left, right? So 1 against 2. And yeah, I want to win this one. I know he wants to win this one because this is his last one, right? You want to go out with the win. But we'll see, right? I really hope it comes down to Sunday. I don't want it to be like one person kicks the other one's ass. Well, no. If I get way ahead, I'm going to be happy. So, no, I can't say that. That's the truth. I want it either I'm in it or I'm dominating. I don't want Eric to kick my ass. I don't think he wants it the other way around, right? You either want to win or keep it competitive. It would be great if it came down to Sunday Night Baseball, like when we played each other the first time, and I lost by a fucking walk. If it came down to the Sunday night game again, we have to hang out. Like, there's no question about it. If our matchup comes down to Sunday Night Baseball, I'm not. Yeah, it'll be the 22nd. So we have to hang out if it comes down to Sunday Night Baseball. So yeah, it was a hell of a season, guys. I'm in back-to-back seasons where I made the championship. Eric, we're both getting paid. You're texting me. Hold on. No, I'd rather kill you. Let's do it. Right? As a competitor, like I talked about this a few videos ago. As a competitor, of course, you want to win, right? And you don't want to get your ass kicked. But like I said, one of the toughest losses I've ever took is to lose to Matt Carpenter by 1 walk. Like that's got to be the all-time worst way, the all-time way that a championship went down. But I really would like it to go to Sunday Night Baseball. That would be a great full circle from our last championship. So we'll see, right? But best of luck to you, bro. Congrats again. Dale and Adam, hell of a season. Adam, you got paid. Dale, you're battling out for, I think, $175. You 2 are battling out, so Adam can make a little bit more money, or Dale, you can get some of your money back. At least, a little more than, a few bucks more than half of what you put in for the season. So, it's something to play for. So salute to the semifinals and to Eric and myself for making the championship. Let's do this, man. You guys, maybe I'll do like a midweek live post because it's the finals, just to kind of see where we're at. But yeah, to the finals, guys. Have a good one. See you guys.